With everything now being online, it's hard to have a genuine connection and genuine conversation with that other person, especially with virtual meetings and virtual interviews. I just want to point out certain things that I think now is a good time for all of us to pay attention to how do we communicate through camera? How do we utilize our body language and our gesture cues so we can be our best selves when we're talking to somebody, whether that's a client, a boss, a coworker, or just your friends. I just want to focus on our hands. How can we utilize our hands to help us be our best selves on camera? I could just be talking to you right now with just my face and my voice, but as soon as I introduce my hands into the frame, it's so much more different. Our hands helps us illustrate and convey our message across that much more. For example, I could be introducing myself saying, my name is Bert and I am a graphic designer and I also love public speaking. But if I was to just say, my name is Bert, I'm a designer and I'm also really into public speaking. It's still the same, but the difference is that my hands helps me convey my key message a lot better, and it helps me get my message across to you when you're looking a lot smoother as well. Not only are our hands good at illustrating our message and conveying our message, but it's also really good at highlighting key phrases depending how we use our gestures, right? So the gestures that I like to use a lot is what I call the finger heart. I just slightly turn around. The finger heart allows me to highlight certain key phrases when I'm talking. It also allows me to let the audience or the viewer know that this part that I'm talking about is important. And one thing that I also like using my hands for, it's this position, the open palm. I tend to do this open palm gesture a lot when I'm conversing with somebody, or especially behind camera, because the open palm shows that I'm comfortable. It also shows confidence. Another technique that I like to use, the resting palm. I know sometimes using too much hand movements can look weird and we don't want to look like a robot dancing. We also don't want to look too animated and it could be distracting. It really can. Sometimes our arms and hands gets tired, gets heavy. So what I like to do is I like to call it the resting palm, where I just slightly let it rest in front of my chest, depending on the height of the camera. So I leave it there so it's comfortable. It's not really bothering the body. It also allows me to easily do gestures out so that I can still convey my message with my hands. I know that not everybody is comfortable using their hands. It can get awkward and you might not be used to it, but I think utilizing your hands does make you that much of a better communicator, especially behind a big screen between you and the other person. Practice does make perfect. It does not come naturally, but the more you do it and the more you try it, the more natural it's gonna start to feel.